Okay, so what is it that makes price discrimination possible? One we've already mentioned, really, which is you've got to have price setting power. So, for a whole variety of obvious reasons, we've got to be in imperfect competition. And by imperfect competition, all I mean there is it's not perfect competition. In other words, imperfect competition, firms are price takers, therefore they can't price discriminate. And that's pretty obvious. Secondly, there's got to be some point. So you've got to be able to identify a group that has a different price elasticity demand. So we've got to have different price elasticity demands in different market segments. So we're going to be able to identify a group of people. This is for what's called, this is what's sometimes called third degree price discrimination, which is the main one that's on your syllabus. But they're never going to ask you that term, on our example. But what we've got to do is find a group of people, with some common feature that means they're prepared to pay either more or less. In the examples that I gave in the last video, we kind of said, adult student, adults have greater income, so they tend to have lower price elasticity demand. People travelling at peak time have a greater need to go. They're willing or prepared or have to pay more. So we've got to identify a market segment with different PED. But again, that's not enough. So the danger is that I sell, particularly if it was a product. Suppose I set up a sandwich shop in the school, and I say kind of boy prices are £1 for a sandwich and girl prices are £5. Well, what's going to happen? Well, maybe girls will get very angry, but what's most likely to happen, is they'll just kind of go and get a bloke to buy it, or if it was the price the other way around, as a bloke, I get a girl to buy it. I mean, it's all that's going to happen, is that everybody will buy in the cheap market and then just resell the product, to the other target group, and therefore it has to be the case, that the two market segments are separable, that we can keep them apart. So think about the examples that we've given. Student, adults. To get your student discount, you've got to produce a student card. Therefore, those two markets are separable. Or in the case of peak off-peak, it's obviously separable by time. If you're travelling before a certain time, then you've got to be able. So you've got to pay the higher price. You've got no meaningful alternative. So separable or separability, is absolutely critical. And what that means is that therefore it tends to be services, because I can't resell a haircut. I can't kind of go and get myself a cheap haircut and then resell it to you. It doesn't work that way. So the point at which you get the thing is the point at which you pay. Whereas with products, obviously it's always the danger is always that somebody buys in the low price market and then simply takes that product and resells it to people with higher. With lower price elasticity demand, with more income. And a fourth one that's kind of useful but not essential, is information asymmetry. Obviously, if consumers don't know that they're paying a higher price in the high price market, then that makes it easier to get away with. But it's not essential. Then people know that it costs more to travel before 9 o'clock in the morning, but this have got to pay. I know that you're getting a lower price than me for cinema tickets or on the bus, but there's nothing I can do about it. But in some markets, it can be more helpful. So the growing awareness of kind of pink-blue price discrimination between men and women means that more female consumers are now starting to say, well, I'm not going to buy a pink razor. I'll just buy a men's one. So when it was when it was less known that this was going on, it was easier for firms to price discriminate. But it's not essential. So the key ones are you've got to be able to set price. There's got to be different identifiable markets with different price elasticity demand. And you've got to be able to split those markets and stop people from buying in one and selling in another, or stop people from just buying in the low price market.